Hello, good afternoon, friends. This is Aradhana and Rajasava bringing to you the HungerMitao program. Along with updates on food insecurity in the North Texas area and across the country, we also share with you information on how the Indian American community is unifying to emerge as a huge part of the solution in fighting hunger in America.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Fanasia and Neelam Dave, for hosting us during the Community Roundup Hour. Friends, through this show, you will not only get updates on the hunger issue across the United States, but also know all the ways in which each one of us, in the spirit of give where you live, is and can continue to make a difference. We can indeed ensure no one around us goes hungry.
Want to learn more about this volunteer movement and the impact of the Indian American community across the USA? Visit HungerMitao.org. Here you will find information and links to all the activities and also to the locations and chapters of HungerMitao across the USA.
So Aradhana, as we begin our second show of 2022, how time flies, let us get back to the basics of HungerMitao. As you know, new listeners join us regularly.
Sure.
So so often it's a good idea to kind of bring back and talk about HungerMitao, the movement, what it is, the need for it, and of course, its amazing accomplishments.
That's really a good idea, Raj. So let's actually start painting the picture with hunger in North Texas and America. So listeners, hunger in America is very unlike what most of us have seen in our home countries. In America, hunger does not necessarily mean homelessness. It's of course the homeless people, but also people with a roof on their heads who may be unemployed, not making a living wage, single parents trying to make ends meet, retirees on a fixed income, veterans with health issues, people living a seemingly normal life in our neighborhoods. So you see, the face of hunger in America actually looks like any one of us.
I was shocked to learn, Aradhana, that almost 42 million people across America are going to be food challenged, specifically because of the pandemic. And before the pandemic itself, there were issues, right?
Yeah, so there were almost 38 million people in America needing assistance with food.
This was before
the pandemic. This was, of course, before the pandemic.
Wow.
Now, through the pandemic, obviously, like you said, the need has accelerated. Mm-hmm. Today, 1 in 6 North Texans struggles with food insecurity.
Wow.
And you know, Raj, sadly, 1 in 4 of this number are school-going kids.
Wow, that's the shame. That is just so unfortunate. A little over 4 years ago, when we learned that 800,000 people in North Texas alone were food insecure, we knew we had to do something. We launched HungerMitao to engage the Indian American community in this fight against hunger by supporting our local food bank. HungerMitao was started with the intention of raising hunger awareness and showcasing the work of the food banks so people can support this efficient way of helping feed people.
I just want to reiterate, it's important for our listeners to understand that HungerMitao is a movement. Mm-hmm. It is not an organization.
Not another 501c3?
Definitely not. HungerMitao is not another charity. HungerMitao is a 100% volunteer-driven movement, raising awareness across the Indian American community about the elevated hunger that lurks around all of us in all zip codes.
And we are so oblivious of that.
We don't see it.
Yeah.
So we don't know it. Mm-hmm. Because of the excellent and efficient work done by the Food Bank Network, HungerMitao works to organize the Indian American community and connect it with the work of the food banks.
The donation of food, time, and money is 100% between the individuals and the food bank. That means HungerMitao does not touch any money. HungerMitao is purely an enabler. It evangelizes the need for food assistance around us and strives to engage the community directly with the food bank. While it is not an organization, such community engagement takes time and effort. Therefore, the HungerMitao movement is led by 2 co-chairs and a group of passionate volunteers who make time to serve as members of the HungerMitao Steering Council. Hats off to all of them.
Hats off, absolutely.
We are constantly looking for people who want to engage in this community building effort. Come join the Steering Council. If you are interested, just drop us a line. And you know where to do that. Just visit ntfb.org/HungerMitao and click on Contact Us and send us the note, and we will be in touch with you.
Raj, I want to reiterate again. Nothing goes to or through HungerMitao.
That's right.
Every hour you volunteer, every can of food you donate, every dollar you donate is given by you directly to the food bank. So listeners, your faith-based organization,
Temples,
Your-
etc. Right?
your regional groups, your neighborhoods, your group of friends, or you as an individual donor all receive direct credit from the food bank for your engagement.
So all the tax receipt, donation receipt.
Directly to the donor.
Okay.
Right? HungerMitao just becomes an aggregator of all of our collective efforts.
And why is that?
Because it's important to see the larger impact.
That-
by myself, I can only do so much.
Correct.
But when we collect the work of the entire Indian American community in North Texas,
We have a story to tell.
we do have a story to
That's
tell.
a-
And
that-
what's our story, Raj? In 4 years that we have been active in North Texas,
Yep.
in-
Today,
with the North Texas Food Bank, what has the Indian American community done?
well, Aradhana, this is something that every one of us can be proud of. First and foremost, we started here in North Texas 4 years ago, and subsequently we have expanded it across the country. And today we have 8 chapters, 7 chapters, 8 to be launched. And we have also shared this model with the Chinese American community,
Right.
by engaging them in the fight against hunger. But a feather in the cap for the Indian American community is that over the last 4 years, tons and tons of food have been donated by them to the food banks across the country. Thousands of hours of volunteering has been done, and millions of dollars have been donated to the food banks and Feeding America. And today we can proudly say that over the last 4 years, the Indian American community across the United States have enabled over 40 million meals for the food challenged across America. And right here in North Texas, we have crossed 12 million meals enabled.
Wow.
That is an amazing story to say.
It is an amazing story. Now, interestingly, Raj, if there was no HungerMitao, and if everybody still did everything that they did,
Correct.
we would not have this story to tell.
Exactly.
Right? We wouldn't have known what impact the Indian American community has made in this land that we have made home.
Right. And that's our appeal to all our friends out there, everyone who's listening. Please, if you want to donate directly to the food bank, please go ahead and do that. Just let them know that you're part of the HungerMitao movement. Then the numbers get aggregated. So, right now we will share links with you during events that we have. But at any given point, you want to donate to the food bank, please do so. But just in the memo field, write down part of the Indian American
Just say
community.
HungerMitao.
Just
That's
say
all they
HungerMitao.
need.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then numbers get added and we get...
And it becomes a great way to highlight the contributions of the Indian American community in our adopted land.
Exactly. So our vision, friends, through HungerMitao is twofold. Number one, engage the collective resources of the Indian American community across North Texas in the fight against hunger to ensure no one goes hungry. Second, unify our community as a cohesive force so that the Indian American community is recognized as a leader in the fight against hunger. In addition to all that you do for your favorite charities, we request you to also give where you live. Please make a gift of food or funds to your local food bank so you strengthen the communities you live in. And money is only one of the 4 ways to help fight hunger locally through HungerMitao. You can, 1, help raise awareness, right? If you want to host a Zoom call and you want to invite us to come in and speak and share information about the hunger issue, we are on a standby. So join us, help raise awareness about the hunger issue across the Indian diaspora. Number 2, host a non-perishable food drive at your home or place of work or place of worship. So food drives are very, very critical. Number 3, volunteer at the food bank. Now I understand that because of the current pandemic and Omicron, volunteering is something that we have to be careful of. Food bank does take all precautions that is needed during this pandemic, but you have to be comfortable. So there are other ways which we will share with you through which your youth can volunteer and even get volunteer credit hours. And number 4, make an online donation to the food bank. Just visit ntfb.org/HungerMitao and make a donation through that. So you get the benefit, you get the tax donation, and the HungerMitao is able to aggregate the community impact. That is the beauty of fighting hunger locally, friends. You see the impact of your contribution. You can see and experience the difference you make through your volunteering, through the food drives, and you're showcasing that you are proud community builders. So please get involved. Everything you need to know about HungerMitao is at ntfb.org/HungerMitao.
Raj, remember we said we would play songs suggested by our listeners? Songs that inspired them to do something selfless?
My favorite part of the show.
Yeah. So today, I would like to play my pick, the song Madhuban Khushbu Deta Hai, a song that was played one time by our friend Amreen at Fun Asia when she helped us with our show in the past. It is such a deep song. I particularly like the line here that says, सूरज ना बन पाए तो बन के दीपक जलता चल. Translation: Do not be discouraged if you cannot shine as bright as the sun. Be a small lamp. Either way, you're making a difference.
मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है. सूरज ना बन पाए तो बन के दीपक जलता चल. सूरज ना बन पाए तो बन के दीपक जलता चल. फूल मिले या अंगारे, सच की राहों पे चलता चल. सच की राहों पे चलता चल. प्यार दिलों को देता है, अश्कों को दामन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है. चलती है लहरा के पवन के साथ के प्रीत दिलों में पलती रहे, के प्रीत दिलों में पलती रहे। दिल वो दिल है जो औरों को अपनी धड़कन देता है, जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है, मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है।
What an amazing song. And it talks about the intention, about what each one of us can do by joining and making a difference. But let us not sit on the fence. Let us do something. On that note, friends, Aradha and I would like to share details with you about few important HungerMitao events coming up during the first quarter of 2022. A massive online fundraiser, Anna, that I heard of, has been launched by Save Texas in observance of Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, this it's an online fundraiser. It also encourages people to do food drives. But this fundraiser is going to go on for the entire month of January. And it's also being planned across the state of Texas.
Right. How many food banks are there?
There are 5 food banks that are participating in this. And, you can find details about it at ntfb.org/HungerMitao.
Right, right.
Our good friends Sonia Elhens and Chanda Prabhu and their team are spearheading this initiative.
Great. Planning has started for the upcoming HungerMitao Spring Food Drive.
That's an annual event for us.
That's our annual event. That's one of the 2 signature events of HungerMitao every year. This one lasts for the entire month of March. Friends, spring is such a festive season in India. We celebrate so many harvest and other festivals during this time. Right? Holi, Ugadi, Baisakhi.
There's practically every community has a festival during this time.
Exactly. And there's a strong focus, Aradhana, on feeding the hungry during these times. While we do not have food banks in India, society generally bore the responsibility of feeding people who are food insecure.
I'm sure all our listeners who moved here from the home country remember that Annadanam or food donation is a spirit embedded in our culture, Raj. I remember a meal used to be put aside for a stranger even before people in the family ate. Now, as a child, I thought of it just as a tradition. But now it makes so much sense.
That's right.
And it's such a compassionate thought and act.
Community taking care of community.
Of the community, absolutely. In the USA, we are fortunate to have a food banking network supported by government programs, farm surplus, corporate and private donations. This system allows the person in need to maintain their dignity intact and to be able to access help when they need it. Food banks are dependable sources. They're not pop-up charities.
Gone one day.
One day here and gone the next day.
Yeah.
So people know that they have the support when they need it. If each of us, now listen to this one, if each of us made the commitment of providing 3 meals a day to one person through North Texas Food Bank this year, that would translate to $1 a day.
You mean a $1 a day can provide 3 meals?
$1 a day will provide 3 nutritious meals for one person. Now, when you total it up, that is $365 a year. And you can actually feel grateful that you are able to feed one person for the whole year.
That's one less thing for those who have fallen on hard times to worry about.
What an inexpensive way to make a massive difference.
Yeah. When you break it down like that, it is such a simple and effective solution, and one that we all can be a part of. So listeners, please join us for this year's HungerMitao Spring Food Drive. It is easy. Just visit ntfb.org/HungerMitao and drop us a line. We will get in touch with you. Let us increase our participation. Let us increase engagement of more and more Indian American communities and groups. And friends, very important, if you know anyone who needs food assistance, please have them visit ntfb.org for information about their distribution dates and sites.
And that's important.
Yes.
Because any one of us also could fall on hard times.
That's right.
And we want everybody to know that this support structure is here and available.
Correct.
For many people, HungerMitao Spring Food Drive has become an annual service event. There are so many reasons to run your own Spring Food Drive. This year, youngsters needing volunteer hours can earn up to 10 hours through the participation of the Spring Food Drive.
Oh, I'm sure they are looking forward to joining in.
And we will hold a conference call.
Yep.
And we will notify everybody so you can join and find out more. It's a great way for youngsters to learn leadership, compassion, planning, marketing, follow through, all the elements that will help them excel at school and in life.
That's right. Listeners, HungerMitao is a movement of the Indian American community wanting to fight hunger where we live. It belongs to each one of us. If you can spare 1 hour a week, just 4 hours a month, and want to help make a difference in the lives of those in need of food assistance, please consider joining the HungerMitao Steering Council and raise hunger awareness and increase community engagement. Friends, the need is acute. Your involvement is needed now more than ever.
And as we close our program today, we thank you all for listening. We thank you for your generosity, for caring about others around you. And North Texas Indian American community, thank you for volunteering, for helping organize awareness events, for running food drives, for making donations, for becoming multi-year donors.
Let me pause for a second.
Yes.
And on our next show, we will go in deep about multi-year donation.
Let's do that.
Okay? Because food bank needs sustained support in order to make sure that they are able to provide nutritious meal to the needy. And the best way we can provide sustained support is by becoming multi-year donors.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about
So we'll dedicate a show, our next one then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I want to also thank you all for giving your time, for giving in kind, and thank you, Phanesia, for becoming the mouthpiece for HungerMitao.
Our mission, friends, is HungerMitao. And HungerMitao is as much about eradicating hunger as it is about unifying the fragmented efforts of our community and focusing it on the humanitarian cause of hunger. Let us come together as the entire Indian American community and show how we engage in any place we call home. We are smart, compassionate change agents who give where we live, so our community benefits from our presence.
And until next week, friends, remember, we may never be able to eradicate hunger, but let us ensure no one goes hungry.
HungerMitao.
Folks, we believe in the Three Musketeers theme.
One for all for one.
Together we support HungerMitao!
HungerMitao.
नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है, नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है।
मुट्ठी में है तकदीर हमारी, मुट्ठी में है तकदीर हमारी। हमने किस्मत को बस में किया है, हमने किस्मत को बस में किया है।
भोली भाली मत वाली आँखों में क्या है, भोली भाली मत वाली आँखों में क्या है।
आँखों में झूमे उम्मीदों की दिवाली, आँखों में झूमे उम्मीदों की दिवाली। आने वाली दुनिया का सपना सजा है, आने वाली दुनिया का सपना सजा है।
नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है, नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है। जो मोती मिले लोगे या ना लोगे, जिंदगी के आंसुओं का बोलो क्या करोगे। भीख में जो मोती मिले लोगे या ना लोगे, जिंदगी के आंसुओं का बोलो क्या करोगे।
भीख में जो मोती मिले तो भी हम ना लेंगे, भीख में जो मोती मिले तो भी हम ना लेंगे। जिंदगी के आंसुओं की माला पहनेंगे, जिंदगी के आंसुओं की माला पहनेंगे। मुश्किलों से लड़ते फिरते जीने में मजा है, मुश्किलों से लड़ते फिरते जीने में मजा है।
नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है, नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है। हमसे ना छुपाओ बच्चों हमें तो बताओ, आने वाली दुनिया कैसी होगी समझाओ। हमसे ना छुपाओ बच्चों हमें तो बताओ, आने वाली दुनिया कैसी होगी समझाओ।
आने वाली दुनिया में सबके सर पे ताज होगा, आने वाली दुनिया में सबके सर पे ताज होगा। ना भूखों की भीड़ होगी ना दुखों का राज होगा, ना भूखों की भीड़ होगी ना दुखों का राज होगा। बदलेगा जमाना ये सितारों पे लिखा है, बदलेगा जमाना ये सितारों पे लिखा है।
नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है, नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है।
मुट्ठी में है तकदीर हमारी, मुट्ठी में है तकदीर हमारी। हमने किस्मत को बस में किया है, हमने किस्मत को बस में किया है।
नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है, नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है।